Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Mark Novotny. I'm the president of Spinal Stabilization Technologies. Dave, that was a very nice presentation. I hope you're successful because I think I need that. So let's get that thing to market. Well, I can't see as good as I thought I was going to, but just to ask a quick question before I start, could I just see a show of hands of who in the audience has heard of lumbar nucleus replacement? Of course, we have some hardcore orthopedic. Good. Okay. So this has been a real hard project, and we've been working on it for a long time, and we've spent a lot of money on this, and I'm going to present where we are to you today. And we have experts, obviously, in the room, so I'm available after if you want to talk about this a little bit. So it's had an amazing history, this category of innovation. A lot of people use the term, or the phrase, it's the Holy Grail, if someone can actually solve this problem. In fact, as I've been presenting here over the last few days, I've heard this 10 times at least. Oh, the Grail, the Holy Grail, you think you have it. It's a graveyard of failure. I hear that every day for the last 9 years. And there were numerous attempts over decades and millions of dollars spent on the problem of lumbar nucleus replacement. Really, it comes down to they come out. So lots of innovators and lots of surgeons attempted to put lots of different devices in the lumbar disc for dark disc disease and back pain, severe back pain. And expulsion has been the problem that's kept the segment, or the device category from actually getting to market. And the entire spine sector, which I also live every day, believes it may not be able to be done. So what I want to do is, at least if some of you walk out of here today saying SST may have it, that's going to be a win for us. That's my goal. So just quickly, not to oversimplify this, but on the left side, this is a functional spinal unit, or an FSU, or it's an area of the spine that all these structures work together. In the middle of the left image is a disc, and then it's surrounded by two vertebral bodies, and there's nerve roots and musculature, etc. It's a very complex joint that has a lot of force and a lot of motion applied to it throughout your life, and it breaks down. That's degenerative disc disease. On the right side is a expansion of the disc graphic that shows the two primary parts of the disc itself, which is the outer band, which would be like the sidewall of a car tire. It's layered and it's very tough. And there's multiple concentric rings that make up the outer band, or the annulus. And in the middle is the nucleus. Now, the nucleus is also an extremely complex structure, and it's very tough, but essentially it's a hydrated piece of tissue that is incompressible, and it works in conjunction with the annulus, and each share about 50% of the load. That's how to think about this. It's an oversimplification, but that's essentially what's happening here. So I come from cardiology, interventional cardiology and interventional radiology. So what I'm about to show you looks like an interventional procedure, and there's a set of catheters and balloons, etc., and a delivery system that's very easy to use. And that's highlighted here by this picture of the PerQdisc delivery system, which is a series of membranes and balloons that are all organized together and then loaded into a 6mm catheter that, after the nucleus is removed, this is advanced in, unsheathed, and then filled and cured in situ. On the bottom is the PerQdisc, cured. It's essentially a replacement for the nucleus. Think of it maybe as the new inner tube inside the tire. Just quickly, each implant is custom based on the patient's nucleus and based on the geometry that results from the surgeon removing the nucleus. So the surgeon accesses the disc either laterally or anteriorly or through the back, which is not something we've innovated or developed. This is common spine surgery access. And they remove the nucleus with a set of instruments or tools that they are used to using. So we don't do a lot of work around that, but that's a key part of our physician training. And it's custom. So when the balloon is put inside, it's filled from outside with a fill material that is very similar to what's inside of a breast implant. And then it cures into a specific stiffness or hardness that is known to be similar to the biomechanics of an annulus and a nucleus. And there's a lot of work, people in this room that have done decades on that, and so that's widely published and known, and that's what we've been able to design our technology to. Let's see if this plays. I don't think this is going to play. That's a video, but essentially, this is something our independent core lab does on all patients that we treat at 30 days and then at 1 year. And if this were working, it would show the disc going back and forth. The PerQdisc is the white new nucleus in the middle. You can't image the annulus so easily, so you can't see it, but it's secured in situ by the outer margin of the annulus, or the disc. So this is not coming out. This is a typical group of patients. I just selected a random group, some 30-day follow-up data, some 90-day follow-up. On the top is an MRI. The black discoid structure inside the middle of the disc is the PerQdisc. That's what it looks like at follow-up. So you can image it at different time points, watch what it's doing, see how it's performing. That's a very important feature of this technology. And on the bottom in the X-ray, you can see the PerQdisc. It's pedicle to pedicle in the center. And on the left and right, the little glowing dots are marker beads that are very common in balloon technology these days. Okay, so here's the data. We've treated 30 patients, and our clinical trial is really ramping up. We're going to be at the end of April around 6 patients, 3 to 8 patients a month in our clinical trial program. But the data, I don't see it really changing that much since we've followed our patients out to 2 years, and it all comes down to picking the right patient where PerQdisc will work, which any surgical procedure, you have to identify a certain population, and in our case, it's huge. And we do a lot of work, about 6 months of work, getting the patients ready for this procedure. And that is the whole key to a really great outcome with nucleus replacement. And the yellow line is back pain or back visual analog score. The green line is leg pain. And the blue line is the Oswestry Disability Index, or the ODI. And these are all FDA-style endpoints for a trial of this nature. And you can see that we took very high pain scores and very high disability scores. In fact, all of our patients in these trials were disabled and either not working or working with heavy restrictions. And I'll show you some of that data in a minute. And so they've had this great response in pain and disability. So we're really excited that we're helping out a lot of people that have a really tough disease state. On the right is pain medications. And we follow our patients at 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. So we have a ton of data on what's happening. And green is no medication, blue is over-the-counter, and red is opioids. And you can see one of the really cool findings is all of our patients are off opioids at 24 months. And in fact, all of them were off at 12 months, except one was on over-the-counter pain medication. And so, no expulsions yet. And I don't think we're going to have them because there's no channel for the device to leave the disc. So the problem that's hurt the sector, I think we may have cracked it. So keep an eye on it. We're going to start putting our data out and publishing it, etc. Reduces back pain, leg pain, maintains the range of motion. It's not fusion, and the patients get back to work. So it's for degenerative disc disease, 9 hospitals enrolling. If anyone wants to see a case, if you're interested, you see one case, and I think you'll be pretty much on your way to being convinced. We've raised $40 million. 9 years of development, but I think it's probably here to stay now, finally. And we're preparing for our FDA trial. We're far along in the negotiation, and we're raising $40 million now for the FDA trial. I've got a little bit more than half covered. And if you're interested, there's my cell phone. Easy to find me because I'm on this damn crutch. So I'm around. Thank you very much.